6:05 now.
Here's my favourite story of the day. The Arch to Arc Challenge. A right miserable business. You've got to run from Marble Arch to Dover, swim the English Channel, and then cycle to the Arc de Triomphe.
Is that like your
in
average
Paris.
weekend?
Well, I've done a bit of sort of endurance stuff, if you can call it that, but nothing like that. Paul Parrish, who is 49, is the oldest person ever to do it. Paul, we salute you. 49 years of age. It just sounds horrendous. So, which was the worst bit?
The worst bit, swimming the channel was definitely the worst bit. Mentally, that was really, really tough. It was, I didn't know where I was, and I wanted to get out, and yeah, it was really tough.
So you've run from London to Dover.
Yeah.
So how how long did that take you?
So it took about 22 hours. So
Non-stop?
Yeah, non-stop. I mean, I stopped and ate things and, and chatted to anybody who would hold me up along the way. So any excuse to stop, I would. But effectively, yeah, I just kept moving and got to Dover.
So it must have been nice to get in the water at least, just cool you off a bit. Just been a bit of chafing involved, I assume, running all that way, just to get some cold water around you.
Yeah, for about 15 seconds, that was really nice. and then we had to start swimming, and it's a huge swim. I mean, I think people get used to hearing about people swimming the channel.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And yet, so much goes into it, and even doesn't matter how much you've trained, you can never be sure you're going to get across.
Right. So you're looking forward to getting out of the water and on your bike. How long did that relief last then before you got to get to Paris?
So the swim took about 17 and a half hours, and then I was carted off to Calais, and I was given some rest there, which was okay, although I couldn't rest at all because I was quite sore. And then the trip to get the bike ride to Paris was another 22 hours.
Right.
No, 18 hours. 18 hours. Yeah, sorry, I was quicker than I thought. I was trying to slow it up as much as I could, but they kept making me hurry up.
I mean, the extraordinary thing, Paul, is that I'm led to believe that your body wasn't always exactly a temple, if I can put it like that. You haven't been an athlete and lived your life as an athlete all your life.
Not so much a temple, more an off license, I think, was the way it was described. And no, I was a very, very unfit person, till about 14 years ago, and I lived a very advertising lifestyle, which was the job in those days I used to do. And I was, actually quite ill. And
what, a drinker, a smoker?
Yeah, the lot, so alky, and I chain smoked. I did, anything that. I suppose I was brought up in the 80s, and I guess not everyone did things like that, but it was certainly something I took to with great gusto.
So, what was the moment where you thought, I'm going to be an extreme athlete? Well, I suppose you knocked it on the head, and then you gradually got more and more into it, I suppose.
Well, I think I was so embarrassed by having to admit that I was what I was that I tried to cover up I had to come up with an idea about why I'd given up drinking, so, as if it wasn't obvious, and I thought, I'll tell everyone I'm running a marathon, and of course the bad thing about telling them that is that you've got to run a marathon. So I signed up and I got a place in the London Marathon. I gave up drinking in November and I ran it in April, and I'd realised by then the difference it had made to me.
So what kind of time were you doing then?
I think I did about 4.25 hours for the first marathon, which was average, and I used to see marathon runners and think I couldn't understand how anyone could ever run 26 miles, and I wouldn't talk to anybody normally unless they were propping up a bar, but I was always interested in marathon runners, and never imagined doing that myself, and it's still one of my just one of my favourite moments was finishing the London Marathon.
How do you train for an 87-mile run, just for a start? How many miles do you have to put in to do that?
Yeah, well, I've got a job and I've got a family, so you have to just fit it around that. So I can't, you can't go out for a 50-mile run because you just can't. So every now and again, if there's a long run that's advertised, bizarrely, there are these people who do this sort of thing, and every now and again I'll do a very, very long run and just hope that tides me over. And I think a lot of it's psychological, I think a lot of this is all about in your head.
But what about the swimming? I've got this mad idea, I'd like to swim the channel, but the training is... swimming and running, at least you're out in the open air looking at stuff, just ploughing up and down a 25-metre pool is just miserable. It's a route to complete madness. I mean, is that what you did?
Yeah, I go down to Dover. There are a lot of people who swim the channel, and I've met some lovely, really normal, sane people who swim the channel. They go down to Dover and places, and everybody helps each other. And you can do it, and there's a very famous woman who sits on Dover Beach, called Frida Streeter. She encourages people to do this, and we kind of just go and...
But for the training, do you have to do a certain amount of ploughing up and down a pool?
Yeah, I do, and I kind of get into a meditative state and just try and chew through the problems of the day before the day starts, and I think that works for me. I think that this has been really good for me in that way.
So, what next then?
Well, I'm going to sit on the sofa and eat as much as I possibly can, and I don't know, Steve, but I mean, I would never do anything like that. And again, I work for a charity called Aspire, and I don't do it just for myself. I've always done them actually to raise money for things, and I don't think I can ever do anything like that. But of course, it does mean that I can't ever really ask for sponsorship for something else, because once people will say, "Well, go on, do something a bit better," I can't think of anything.
What's your message to somebody who's late 30s, early 40s, in a bit of a 2 and 8, drink too much, smoke, what drugs, who knows what, and think, well, this is me. What's your advice to them?
My advice is that it's really, really frightening for me. Alcohol and smoking and that lifestyle define me, and I thought that everything would, I'd lose all my friends and everything like that. And the one thing I'd say is that the only thing you get rid of when you do that is your problems, and that is your problem. And don't be scared; it will be okay. It really will be okay, and you will be amazed by the choices that you'll be then left with. You think one choice is being taken away from you, which is your ability to drug or drink or whatever your addiction of choices, but actually what it gives you is more choices than you could ever imagine.
Okay, inspiring stuff. Paul, lovely to speak to you. Paul Parrish, who's done the Arch to Arc at the grand old age of 49. Brilliant stuff. It's just gone 6:30.